Chief Meteorologist Holden LaCroix.
Welcome back. It has been a gorgeous afternoon really across much of western Oregon, but our friends out toward the east side are still dealing with a lot of wildfire smoke coming in from several wildfires. But we'll have a look towards Roseburg right now. Temperature sitting at a nice 92 degrees, comparative of those triple digits that we were dealing with earlier this week. But man, take a look at Eugene right now, 88 degrees. We may not even hit 90 today, and up toward the Portland area, it's even better at 85 degrees. And you can see the coastal influence really across much of the Willamette Valley. We saw that yesterday. We're seeing that again today with those lighter shades of color indicating some slightly cooler temperatures. And we have had some breezy conditions, which have kind of helped with the temperatures as well. Here in the past couple of hours, winds have started picking up here in Eugene. Sustained winds around 20 miles per hour, but at times we've had gusts upwards of 30. Same thing goes to show for the coast, a little bit calmer than what we had yesterday, but nevertheless, we are expecting some pretty breezy conditions over the next several days until we finally start to see some calmer winds by next week. Here's the high pressure still fueling the heat across much of eastern Oregon and out towards portions of Boise right now. And again, that's fueling those wildfire conditions, but luckily here across our portion of the state, we have cool air offshore, which is kind of regulating the heat. Now, there's some issues down to the south, and that includes some monsoonal moisture that's slowly drifting up out of Baja California. And a lot of this moisture right here across Nevada is dry thunderstorms that have been occurring across much of central Nevada. Now, I will say right along the Sierra, these are actually producing some pretty heavy rainfall. And as this moisture sneaks north, we're going to have to watch this very closely, especially toward next week, starting as early as Sunday and progressing into next Wednesday. This is the area we're thinking for potential dry thunderstorms. That being said, we could have a few of these with some downpours, even possible hail showers out towards areas of eastern Oregon, but it's dry. We just escaped a heat wave, and some locations in eastern Oregon are still hot, so we're going to have to watch that very closely toward next week. For the weekend, the marine layer is going to last a little bit longer in the day for you folks out toward the coast, but I would expect a little bit more sunshine toward the evening hours. But it's also those winds that are expected to pick up towards the afternoon. So here's a little snapshot towards tomorrow evening. These are sustained winds around 20 miles per hour out toward the Oregon coast. But notice as you head south, areas of Coos Bay down towards Port Orford, we could be dealing with sustained winds again around the 30-mile-per-hour range. But honestly, this weekend's a great weekend to hit lakes, pools, rivers. We're talking about temperatures likely back up to around 93 degrees. But that UV index is still high, so make sure you have that sunblock readily available. Here's your weekend forecast city by city. You can see the wall-to-wall sunshine, a little bit of cloud cover, and again, that monsoonal moisture is going to start to drift north along the Sierra into areas of the Cascade, and that's what we're going to be watching this weekend. Here's a look at those water temperatures, though. 57 degrees at Oak Ridge, so we are seeing improvements, but notice the Belknap, still 49 degrees, so make sure you limit your time in that water for this weekend. So breezy next couple of days for the Oregon coast, temperatures in the mid 60s. Sun starts to break away by the afternoon, but again, with that afternoon sun, it's going to be some breezy afternoon conditions. Now for the Roseburg area, 95 degrees on Saturday. Notice the temperatures kind of only max out at around 95 through next week, but we start to see a little bit more cloud cover thanks to that monsoonal moisture that also goes up into the Cascades. Our time frame is Tuesday, Wednesday. We're going to be watching that potential of dry thunderstorms up into areas of the Cascades. And for Eugene and Corvallis, 93 tomorrow, but realistically, we're hovering anywhere from around 89 to 93 degrees all next week. Just feels like a typical Oregon summer. Just make sure you drink all that water, just as I did on this hike. We did 2